time, Edwards, give him one. So Beasley's been on that sideline. We've seen him a couple times. Now he's ready to return. Still though gimpy. Now he's going to backpedal and come back out.
So when you're in 2nd and 9 and you go against Matt Ryan, there's a very strong chance that you're throwing the football, and you know that as a defense you come after. Against Jackson, there's a very strong chance he's handing it off. So you're kind of in that like difficult little spot of what do we call here?
2nd and 9. Need to get to the 24 for the first. Plowing ahead. And that is Edwards. Alex Collins, by the way, who had been the primary back most of the season, IR just a couple of days ago with a foot injury. And that timing comes with Kenny Dixon coming off of IR. We've seen a couple of times today, but this kid, Gus Edwards, his teammates like him. He doesn't have a whole lot to say. Everybody, the first thing they say, he's quiet.
He is quiet. You see Coach Harbaugh there? I think he's telling his coordinator, you can go for it on 4th down if we're close.
3rd and 4. Pass. Oh, it looked like a hold. And there the flag comes out. Niesman had hold of Mark Andrews.
And I don't think he needed to. He was playing.
Pass interference. Defense, number 41. By rule, the ball is placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic. 1st down.
Let's see. He's got great defense. He's inside. He is. He's grabbing the left arm of Andrews. Right there, he's grabbing it. You can see it right down there. He's grabbing, and that's doesn't allow him to get his hand up. Correct call, even though I think the ball probably would have been a little over his head.
That's the 4th defensive penalty against Atlanta. And now, again, only 3 red zone snaps in the game up to this point. Here's the 4th. Taking to the line, Jackson. Where is he going to go with it? Running out of real estate and bounced out with a loss of about 4.
Got to throw that one away. 1st down and 10. 4 yards down here is everything. All the misdirection. You can see Atlanta handles it pretty well. He had Snead open, but right there you got to throw that ball away. That's 4 yards in the red zone. That's a lot of yards. That's not the same as it is at the coming out at your own 20, because the defense has to respect the run. And right here now it's like, okay, he's almost has to pass the ball. Now when you're going against Jackson, that's never the case. You almost play run on every down.
From the 13, he scored from the 13 in that first quarter. And here he goes again. Jackson inside the 10 and able to hop and jump down to about the 3.
And there's that 3 or 4 yards he lost. Great play design, well done.
Ronnie Stanley, their left tackle, shaken up. So he holds on to his ankle for a moment and talks it over with the medical staff of the Ravens. Stanley, the 1st round pick from a couple years ago, 3 years back at Notre Dame.
Ooh, got him on the knee.
A true winner doesn't seek only the title. A true winner seeks growth. A true winner seeks greatness. It's the journey. It's the challenge. If you reach your goal, set a bigger goal. If you get to the top of the mountain, find a bigger mountain. Don't tell me it's over. I'm just getting warmed up.
This Sunday only, get 10% off Target gift cards. Get 10% off red, 10% off green, and 10% off every color in between. Get 10% off all Target gift cards.
We are in a commercial break here. 2nd half, 3rd quarter. Falcons 10, Ravens 10. And, Ravens have the ball. 3rd and goal, actually. Must win for Atlanta Falcons, definitely. I mean, mathematically they're in it, but when you have 7 losses on the season, there's no guarantees. Even if they pulled off miracles and won out the rest of the season, you know, like the next 5 games, still might not make the playoffs. But mathematically, you want to say they're still in it. They got to win.
So, I'm going to make that guac now.
No guac, no game.
Avocados from Mexico. Monday, Marty comes clean.
I have a girlfriend.
You don't?
Has she seen those pants?
The neighborhood. Then, sometimes a guy's just looking for...
I can't do this.
A little encouragement. A new Happy Together after an all-new The Neighborhood. CBS Monday.
Stanley trying to throw a lead block for his quarterback. Got hit in the knee. He walked to the bench. And meanwhile, Jermaine Illuminor comes in for him at left tackle. 3rd and goal. Baltimore trying to break out of this 10-10 tie. Jackson. Tough and somewhat awkward throw in the direction of Nick Boyle, who was covered up. And at the last moment, I think Jackson was wanting to try to just almost reel that football back in. So now Tucker will come out for a short field goal. Chippy. Here's a guy that, well, 7 years in the league, he's done a lot of remarkable things, that's for sure, but he's never missed an indoor field goal attempt. With the one he made earlier today from 41, this one just 21. This would give him 19 out of 19 in his career indoors, and it's good, and the Ravens go back on top at 13-10. You see number 41 on the sideline, Niesman. Let's talk about the man known as 41, President George Herbert Walker Bush. He passed away at 10:10 p.m. Central Time at his home in Houston on Friday night. Wednesday has been declared as a national day of mourning, as he will be remembered at the National Cathedral in Washington. What a great life and a great man, President Bush, passing in the way Friday at the age of 94.
Well, I know you did something on our telecast earlier at the pregame show, and it was wonderful, Jim, and you know how dear of a friend he was to you, and the prayers go out to the entire Bush family.
He was such a sports fan, Tony, and I know you got to meet him.
Oh, he was
just, you know, of course, everybody talked about how he was a baseball player at Yale, but he not only loved baseball, he loved his Texas A&M Aggies, and he loved his Houston Texans.
He loves sport. He loves golf. President's Cup.
Tennis. Big in golf.
He was a wonderful man that I know a lot of people care deeply about.
And a man who did so much for so many. No matter what your political affiliation might be, as evidence, and that's what we talked about in the tribute on the NFL Today, is a wonderful relationship he had with President Clinton. And how those two, who were once political rivals, came together and developed a really strong bond and friendship. It's something that is very special. People should take note of in this country today. How we may have our differences, but we have our likenesses, and there's respect and always in civility every step of the way. All right, the Falcons, 1st and 10. And look at that Ravens defense take another 3 yards off the board for Atlanta. Boy, this Atlanta team, they have not been losing this year because of the offense. Now, maybe they've had some breakdowns in the red zone, but they have moved the ball. They have scored on teams, but they have just been shut down. 85 yards of offense.
And now you get all this pressure package because you lost 2 yards. Did you get it right? Who's blocking everyone?
Ryan trying to get it back. Good catch. That's Sanu. I think they're going to mark him about a half yard shy of the first. So Sanu with his first catch. By the way, Julio Jones, who had a couple of opportunities that went through his hands in the first half, only 2 catches for 18.
Well, it's really not about an individual player going against one guy trying to be like, we got to win this matchup. It's trying to find the right guy who's open versus the pressure looks. And Matt Ryan's obviously going to take a break. There's a wildcat situation.
Yes, and Sanu, who has a perfect quarterback rating, folks, if he decides to throw. He played quarterback part-time at Rutgers. Look at this. 6 for 6 in his career. Will that stay intact? No. Over the head of Julio Jones. So a little trickery does not pan out for Atlanta. Let's go down to Tracy.
Jim, Lamar Jackson right now in the blue 10. He got kicked in the head on the last drive. The officials up top called down to have him checked for a concussion. He is in concussion protocol right now. As soon as I get an update, I will pass it on.
And he got hit, oddly enough, by Stanley, his teammate, who was also injured on the play. Thank you, Tracy. 4th and 1.
Well, we're going to have RG3 then coming out to start this one after a break. If you want to take us there, Jim?
Yeah, 54-yard punt. We'll be right back to Atlanta.
You can do and you can say anything you want. Live your life and I'll live mine any way I want. Anything you want. And I want. Make it what you want. He's gonna do it! You gotta see this! Oh, he's gonna do it! I got him. All right. So how about another game?
Sorry, Aaron, I know this stings, but defense wins championships, and we're defending your truck now, so State Farm, you can pack those khakis and go.
Who's protecting my house? Should I unpack my khakis?
No, you keep those khakis packed.
Alexa, find dramas.
Wait, why are you speaking like that?
Alexa, scroll right.
You do know that Alexa understands normal voice?
I know, but when you want to watch dramas, you need to get into the mood.
No, you don't. That's not a real thing.
Alexa, play Ray Donovan.
There's a doctor at Sloan Kettering.
Does the doctor have a name?
Sharon Bergstein. She's a neurosurgeon.
You know you're a weird guy, right?
I know.
When your hands are busy, your mind gets right. When your hands are busy, you're serving your family, your friends, and your community. When your hands are busy, you show everyone what you're capable of. The all-new Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year.
Now get 1,000 bonus cash for an average $10,017 in total values on the all-new 2019 Ram 1500.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm, here to help life go right. Subway, make it what you want. And by the Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year.
Well, one player who has not seen a whole lot of action in a long time is the man we all know is RG3. Saw just a few seconds of the field against Cincinnati, but he has not thrown a pass in this league in 2 years. And now will Jackson be evaluated? Look at this first snap. He fields it smartly and able to hand it off for a rush of about 4. But Griffin, this is some way to step back into things, isn't it?
That's a worst case scenario. Great grab by him. And this is really interesting. You know, right now I'm thinking, if you're Atlanta, do you call this game as you see Jackson out of the tent?
Without his helmet.
Do you call this game more like Flacco's in the game? I mean, because you don't have tape, really. I mean, he played good in the preseason, but he hasn't run this system yet. He's got a little bit, obviously, of Jackson in him, but is he the old RG3? We'll see.
2nd and 6. Quickly turns around to hand it off. And that's Dixon. Breaking tackles and chugging ahead. Got a first down. Jackson is going in. That ball came out for a moment with Dixon. As you see Max Williams on a knee.
Lots of drama going on here in Baltimore.
No kidding. And back to Griffin. You know, we asked Coach Harbaugh last night about the possibility we would see him. He said, you know, he's a starter in this league. He's come a long way. He was so impressed with what he's seen, not only in preseason, but just in practice every day.
Well, you know what? He's at the point now where all the early success, all the stuff where you have to be a certain guy, you're trying to show everyone that you're the same guys as first. It's about him learning his craft and getting better and better week to week. And I think he's enjoying the process now. It always used to be like, I have to play great. The pressure's on me. The whole world, I have to do all the... Now you're just playing football and getting better. And I think what happens is you get to that point in your career where it's like, it's about nothing more than improving every single day and see what happens. When you get your chance, you'll have an opportunity.
So Jackson jogging to the Ravens locker room as Griffin now has a new set of downs. Griffin, who you would have started against, you would have had your matchups in the day.
Yeah, and they got off to such a great start. They had Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan there. They brought together that new scheme that you're seeing a lot of teams run versions of now, but that was really the introduction to some of the college stuff that they were doing. It was a play fake in the backfield out of shotgun. No one was running shotgun play fakes with deep passing down the field. And then all of a sudden you'd hand it off, and then the quarterback would keep it.
I got the sense just listening to Coach Harbaugh that Griffin, being the third-team quarterback and trying to reestablish himself, be a presence in the league, has also changed his persona a little bit. The RG3 thing, not quite what they really view it as anymore. Nice stiff on near first is Boyle. In fact, when he was referring to his quarterback, he called him Rob.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm looking at my board. Rob Griffin. What happened to RG3?
Yeah, it was not anymore. Like I said, you get older, you just play the game, and you just get to help your football team win. And right now, this is tough, like I just said on Atlanta, because RG3 is going to get that ball out on time a little bit faster than Lamar Jackson. Now, Jackson has that rare ability, but at one time, RG3 had that same thing, and, you know, we just see as the years go by. But I'm really anxious to see the development of what Harbaugh talked about right here and see if you're Atlanta. It's tough because it's like, man, we had this whole thing set up for Lamar. Now this guy reads it a little bit differently.
First down at the 35. Again, stand on the ground. And Edwards has 4 more. More on Lamar Jackson. Tracy.
Well, Jim, you saw him go into the locker room. The Ravens went through the proper protocol, reviewed the kick to the head, was checked by the independent neurologist. He actually was telling doctors that he felt as though he was fine, he can go back in, but they felt like there was just too much distractions, too many noises going on inside that blue tent, and they had to take him inside for further evaluation. They have not ruled him out yet, though, Jim.
Okay, 2nd and 6. And again, not thrown the ball since he's been inserted, but they keep advancing the ball with the run. The drive that started back at the 13. They're going to have 3rd and short coming up.
It tells me right now they're sticking with the Jackson game plan, and the easy way to tell that for people at home is shotgun. When RG3 hands the ball off and he's in shotgun, that's more of the Jackson. They run the same plays they ran when they had Flacco, and they're just in shotgun with Jackson, and now RG3 is doing the same thing. I would sprinkle up both of them. I would put them under center, then I'd put them in shotgun. Make it very difficult on Atlanta in their calls on which one to go with.
Griffin under center, 3rd and 1 for the Ravens. Up a field goal in the game. And takes a hit, absorbs it, and bounces ahead for the first down. Update time. JP and Boomer, all yours.
Giants go up by 10.
All right, could we have an upset in the making here? Odell Beckham Jr. is going to come down with this 1-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 1. Odell also threw in a touchdown pass earlier in the game. They lead 24-14.
Back to Jim Nance.
Okay, thank you, fellas. The Bears, we saw them in their last game, the win on Thanksgiving Day at Detroit at 8-3. And the Giants right now have the lead on that 4th down touchdown throw. So 1st down. Dixon with a wiggle. And a gain of about 12.
Well, this is where your backup comes in and the motion doesn't quite work perfectly. So you're going to see the motion. He's like, okay, should I stop? Keep going? When's it going to get snapped? I'll just keep running. And then all of a sudden, you see wide open holes. Because right now as a defense, all your calls are predicated on a certain guy. And it's a little bit different when new people come in the game at the quarterback position.
54 is mine. 42.
Approaching 300 yards of offense. Atlanta has not reached 100 yet. Jackson, who's looked good in his return. Takes a few big hits, and they'll give him 4 more.
You know, this never happens, but what happens if RG3 gets hurt?
Well, it's got to be Sam Cook. I'm serious.
He is.
He did complete the pass successfully on a 4th down fake in the first half, the punter, and he is their emergency quarterback.
But you can't. I mean, yes, he throws a good ball. Does he know what
we're told by the Ravens?
Does he know what 42 ISO is? I mean, that's what you need, is the guy who knows what the run is so you can just hand it off.
Can he run the option?
Yeah. Right now, Atlanta needs to just make RG3 run the ball. Take the tailback out of the game.
2nd and 6. His first pass since being with Cleveland in 2016 is complete. Well, actually, it was the other one he threw earlier to the near side, too. Correct. We've actually had, this is the thing, we've had 5 different passers in the game, if you will, because you had Sanu throw one, and you had, Sanu and Ryan.
Pass interference, offense, number 15, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Interfered on what was Griffin's second pass attempt. Jackson, Cook, and Griffin, the 3 passers, if you will, so far in the game on the Baltimore side.
He's blocking downfield. You have to stay at the line of scrimmage. If that ball gets out right away, then you're okay. But once it takes that half a second, now your receiver's downfield.
So the left tackle has returned, Tony. Ronnie Stanley. Good news for the Ravens. And able to sidearm it over to Montgomery, the former Packer. Finally sees the end run. The run end, I should say, by Montgomery. 14 yards on that one.
Well, it's just a screen. And watch the right guard, Marshall Yanda right here. He's going to fake like I'm blocking you, and then he gets out. And he's the guy that Montgomery does a good job being patient with. That's the guy you want to stay behind. Which way are you going? That way? Good.
Picked up in a trade right before the deadline from Green Bay. This drive's taken almost 7 minutes, and now it faces a 3rd and 2.
Well, there's 12 guys on the field for Atlanta. They got away with it.
Stuffed him.
The Ravens
denied.
Lose a yard with Edwards. And already they bring out Tucker for the long field goal.
I would challenge this. I think they might have had 12 men on the field.
There was a Falcon defender racing to that far sideline.
It's really close if you look at him sprinting across. Play it all the way. I don't know if we can see the far sideline. But it's
Thank you,
really
technical
close up
support.
top on your screen. And snap.
That's just close.
I'd be throwing a flag here if I was Harbaugh.
And you might have been just in time. There it is.
Red flag. That means
Tucker goes ahead and kicks it through anyway.
Challenge here.
It's going to determine whether we have the right spot to see exactly on the snap.
Baltimore is challenging the ruling on the field that there were not 12 players on the defense.
So, Coach Harbaugh wants to challenge that. Was he off the sideline? Time.
All right, we are in a break. The Ravens are up 13-10. They've got the ball here late in the 3rd. And it's 4th and 3, but we've got a challenge on the field, so we'll see what's going to happen with that. Must win for the Falcons, absolutely. Mathematically, I understand they're still in the playoff hunt, but when you say mathematically we're still in it, that's another way of saying it's a really long shot here. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel so you can get more live reaction video. You notice we do sneak in some play-by-play. You know, a lot of people can't watch the game, and we can't show the game because of YouTube, but we'll get you some audio. And as reported earlier today by A-Bomb, the Georgia Bulldogs were not selected into the playoffs after that close loss to Alabama yesterday. A lot of people, including Curb Hurtstreet, a lot of people were saying that Curb was one of the people that said, you know what, Georgia should get in there. So far, the only one that played Alabama close. And I'm not really concerned either way. I think in a way that game between Georgia and Alabama was the national championship game. I think there's a lot of people agree with that really was it. I don't know if anybody else is going to have a chance at beating Alabama. All right, this is Falcons Ravens. We are in a break right now. There is a challenge on the field. If the ruling stands, Baltimore will be going for a field goal. They're up 13-10 in this must-win for Atlanta. And the Ravens, with a 6-5 record so far in the season, definitely need this win. All right, we're in a commercial break here. We're still looking at it. So they're taking a lot of time. Thank you, A-Bomb. Well, yes, that is a classy picture of former President George Bush. Okay. All right, there were 12 players on the field, so they win the challenge. They get a 5 yards, and let's rejoin the audio from CBS here.
Take credit even when it's not you who's doing it.
Man, you were so.
That was a really good challenge right there by Baltimore.
So savvy with the technology, my man.
Yeah, I think everyone knows that was not my forte, or if that was me. But well done by our team.
Minute 37. We may try to call A-Bomb coming up between the third and fourth quarter for a quick call.
Yeah,
we may have heard A-Bomb on the Jim Rome Show, 929 The Game in Atlanta. Plus, he's looked at radio stations
Now's
in
the chance
Athens,
for a big
Georgia.
Play. You can run this ball, but I would be taking a shot to a tight end on a deep over play action.
Griffin.
RG3 scrambling, throws it away.
And just a perfectly timed.
Bring up second down.
Pressure by Trufant there, because Baltimore had a pretty good play coming up, but it was defended well after the pressure and making RG3 move.
Had another timeout on the field as the Falcons have a member of their secondary. It's DeMonte KZ still down. We'll step aside.
All right, they're going to a break,
really
so
simple.
we are going to pick up the phone here.
And you count on your truck.
So, all right, let's silence that for a second. Okay. 13-10 is the current score, late in the third. All right, A-Bomb, we're going to try to call you on Facebook. I think we are. All right, hey A-Bomb, welcome to the show. A-Bomb, let me bring your audio up over here. All right. And,
hey.
You are on the air with us. Thanks for joining us. What's your take on the game so far, A-Bomb?
Well, going kind of like we thought it would. It's a low-scoring affair. And you know what? Hang on. I'm trying to turn this video off.
Oh, is it running video? I just hit
okay, maybe it's not now. Okay, we should be good now. Yeah, man, it's great to be on your show. Appreciate you letting me jump in here. At Beth Paintings, I see is sponsoring this, so got plenty of her art up on my wall here. If you like beach art, that's where you need to go, at Beth Paintings.
Yeah, Beth just sold 3 paintings last night. We're shipping those out to Washington. 4, and we have a Atlanta Falcons emblem painting hand-painted Falcons for our Falcons fans, if you're interested in that.
Okay, well, I might have to. You might want to set that one aside for me, unless it sells out later today.
Well, we're going to be rejoining the game here in a moment. We want to thanks for the call, A-Bomb. You can stay online if you want, or if you want to get back and watch the game. We're going to join CBS here.
See it.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to hang up here because I'm on my phone here and I don't have Wi-Fi, so I think it's eating up a little bit of data. But if I can figure out how to do this through my desktop, I will call you back through that.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for joining us, A-Bomb. Make sure you like and subscribe to A-Bomb's channel as well. Peace out, brother. A little special treat. And you probably heard A-Bomb on the Jim Rome show. All right, now we are back to action here.
We know RG3 can run. We've seen it before in the past, but until he proves it to you, that
Third
he can still
and
do it at that same
9
level, make the
for the Ravens.
Or make the quarterback beat you in the run game. Now you just call it like Flacco and do your stuff.
Here's Griffin.
Pressure. He gets it off. It's a duck snort.
And it's incomplete. John Brown got a hand on it. There was all kinds of
Atlanta had a hand on that. A lot of pressure.
Griffin, the pocket
Defense finally showed up for us.
Jarrett and Bruce Irvin.
Yeah, well, the left side of this line just says, go ahead, run to the backfield. And Griffin does a great job getting this out. And it's a great spot with the ball that far downfield. Giving it his guy a chance, but not an interception.
Baltimore looking for the field goal here to go up 16-0.
So Tucker back out.
16-10. Check it.
A closer range attempt from 45 out. And the kick by Tucker is good again.
You saw that third down right there. New left guard, left tackle. Ball's got to come out early on third down.
All right.
8 minutes, 8 seconds, Tony. They go 60 yards in over 8 minutes. Lead to the field goal, 6-point lead. And we go to New York for the update.
On Lindsey Flash. Hey, guys, one of the best stories of the season. Undrafted rookie running back Philip Lindsay is going to go 65 yards against this Bengal defense on the day. 14 carries, 100.
Look at that white kid run. Oh, my God.
This is his second touchdown as the Broncos take a 21-3 lead.
I don't know if he's white. I don't know.
Back is moving.
I can't tell.
Back to Jim Nance.
Well, the Broncos at 5-6, they are still in the hunt.
Atlanta getting ready to kick off. Baltimore getting ready to kick off here.
In our meeting with John Horvath, because it really came down for Lindsey when he went undrafted. He was going to sign with either of the Ravens.
Okay. It is 16-10 Ravens with the lead. Getting ready to kick off to Atlanta with 31 seconds in the third. And then we were just on the phone with A-Bomb. Great to whenever he can call into the show, give his take on the game. And we might talk to him some more at the 2-minute warning. All right, no return on that kickoff. And we do want to tease our internet radio station. It is up as of yesterday, wxgc.caster.fm. All right, Matt Ryan under center. 1st and 10. They got it at the 25. He drops back, fires it short, complete, picks up about 3. Going out to Coleman, our running back. All right. 2nd down and 7, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. All right, Ravens are up by a half dozen, 6 points as we go into the fourth. So still got a lot of football here. Good game to go. Good game going on. And you'll notice on our screen we do have a picture to honor former President George Bush, who passed away. A lot of people call him 41 because he played for the Yale baseball team, and I understand that was he played for them for the very first ever College World Series. I'll have to fact check that, but that's a pretty interesting fact there. You can comment in the comment thread there if you have some more information on that. We are in a break right now as we're about to go into the fourth. And must win again for the Falcons. Going into the season, we were really excited, really high on this team. I mean, in a lot of ways, it should be as good or even better as that team that went to the Super Bowl. So, really been a really disappointing season. But a win here would keep us mathematically alive. And you know what? On a Sunday, when I go to watch football, if I'm mathematically in it, that helps me get more interested in the game, more excited to watch. You know, you can go get this exact same stat tracker over at Joey the Truth Wagner's page, but he's not going to give you any audio from CBS. He is not a Falcons fan. You know, I don't want to say he's in it for the money, but you know, he's taking donations left and right. I haven't asked anybody for a donation. We are still at a break, waiting for the fourth quarter. Please report any buffering or technical issues in the chat screen.
Trying to win for a third straight week. The Falcons at 4-7. If there's any hope, it's faint hope. They have to win. There's a little shoulder shrug and a throw down the field. Oh, and Jones was trying to get untangled from Clark. And again, Jones has been contained so far, only 2 catches.
Well, you see the corner pass off right there, and he lets Julio run down the field because it's cover 2. That means he doesn't have a deep field, and the safeties do a great job down the field. And Suggs hits the quarterback right as he lets it go, and Matt Ryan felt that coming.
Jones has been targeted 7 times. The 2 catches for 18 yards. And not a reception since the first drive of the game.
That's what pressure does. It doesn't allow you to pick out the guy you want to throw to.
Backpedaling and connecting. That's Gabriel going in the wrong direction as he was trying to somehow wind his way around. I mean, Ridley trying to wind his way around Mosley.
But watch this. There's like everyone's on the left blitzing, and Ryan has to shuffle, and he can't pick out the guy he wants to throw to. He's just got to get rid of the ball before he gets hit. And so you can't use your best players, and this is why Baltimore is so hard to deal with. And really, they're the only team who does it at this rate with this many different people. Really difficult for quarterbacks to deal with.
So 4th and 4. The Ridley catch, he was trying to figure out a way to keep the drive going. The play put them over 100 yards total offense for the game. That's all. Fair catch by Jones. So Lamar Jackson has been cleared, and he's coming back out after this.
Hey, does anyone have a charger? We're dying.
Yeah, just down here.
I'm dying.
Oh no, I'm dying.
All right, RG3 is out, and they're going to bring in Lamar back in. He had a bit of a head injury. They thought he might have had a concussion earlier when another Ravens player, who was also hurt on the exact same play, while going to the ground, his foot came up and kicked him up in the chin area of the face mask. If you ever had a face mask on, you get hit by the chin, man, you're going to see some stars, son. You know, I did play football, and when there is, this is like junior high stuff. We got 200+ pound guys, and I might have weighed like $130 in 7th grade, barreling down on you. crushing you right in the helmet, man. You get tired of that real quick. And some of those guys, you know, they probably had a chip on their shoulder. You know, they saw a middle-class white kid out there and said, let's hurt him. So I got my ass whooped on that field all the time. All right, we are in the fourth quarter. Ravens up 16-10, and they're going to have the ball again here shortly. We have to deal with stupid KFC commercials. And Avon was talking about this Garth Brooks concert tonight. I thought that was Freddie Gonzalez, the former Braves coach. I mean, are they doppelgangers? Garth Brooks and Freddie Gonzalez, they look exactly the same. And by the way, so does Ben Roethlisberger and Will Ferrell. Has anyone ever noticed that? Yeah, Garth's playing the Notre Dame. And Notre Dame is going to be in the college playoffs. Georgia out. All right, we are in a break. We'll be back in a second with more of the Falcons-Ravens. The 6-5 Ravens taking on the 4-7 Falcons. Both teams kind of a must-win here, especially the Falcons. And we want to thank everyone for tuning in. You can let us know where you're watching this and listening in from. What part of the country? You at work? All right, we are back to the game now. Our quarterback Lamar back in. It's 1st and 10 Ravens. And they're going to pitch to the halfback who cuts right for a good run of about 6 yards there. Lamar Jackson was their quarterback was injured a little while ago, but he's back in the game now. Let's join CBS's coverage here for you.
When they're out in space, he shows the good and the bad, and ultimately he tells them to use his natural ability, but be smart.
Well, here's a 2nd and 3. And he flicks it at the last second incomplete. Of course, he got, again, kicked in the head by his own teammate, a lineman that had been turned upside down, and kind of almost impossible to be able to prevent that.
Yeah, Stanley, the left tackle, when he was down the field, and that's the last guy you want to get. You see him right there next to Stanley.
There's a train.
Trying to create a little.
All right, if the Falcons stop the Ravens on this 3rd down, everyone in the stadium wins some wiper fluid.
They're trying.
They're trying.
You get louder. Here we go. Still got to protect against the run, and then
3rd down and 3.
Back and pass right here.
I'm in man up defense. It's a quarterback's going to run right. 1st down. He's still on his feet. Picks up maybe 20 yards there. Unfortunate, man.
Another designed run on 3rd down, which
he thought it was going to be a quarterback option, or not even really option, like a scrambling screen thing there, but Jackson just tucks it in and rumbles for a big pickup.
I think they got to talk to him again now, Trace, because that was.
He had a concussion scare earlier in the game.
Jackson, who, when we talked to him about the difference between running around when you're in college versus the NFL, his first thought was they come from you at all angles, and nobody takes off a play in the league. Sometimes he felt like in college he could find a guy that was just, slacking on a play, take it and expose that.
Well, when you cut back in college, you see all the players and you use your speed and run away from them. In the NFL, the pursuit's coming from behind. Everyone's playing to the whistle, and literally their jobs are on the line if they're going to go full speed, especially in most of these systems where it's all predicated on, running to the football every snap. And so he's starting to realize the angles they're taking, they're fast and they close quickly, and you got to get down.
2nd and 7.
2nd and 7. And he's going to roll out again.
Quarterback throws deep.
Down the field into double coverage.
Incomplete. Into double coverage.
Direction of John Brown.
He just drifts right. You don't know if he's going to run or throw.
Really a good job.
Another third down conversion opportunity.
He's on the top of your screen. You can't even see him right now. And all of a sudden he'll come into your screen right there. Alford does, and just stays disciplined. He stayed disciplined back there and didn't just go to the other side of the field because everyone moved that way.
Alford, who had that pick 6 against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl a couple years back.
Yep.
When the Falcons had it 28-3 in the third quarter, before arguably the greatest comeback in the not only Super Bowl history, maybe.
We've got a player down on the field. It doesn't look like he's hurt too bad. Maybe some cramping. He's up. He's sprinting off the field. That's good to see. I just hate seeing injuries. When I played football, there's that scare factor when you're about to get hit, and when you don't have that normal fear factor, you can take your game to another level and be super aggressive. All right, looks like we're gonna be back to the game here.
Where's the dream? And I alluded to it when we came on the air, Tony, was this team just a couple of years removed from being the NFC champs, with the chance to be the first team in the 53-year history of the league.
Atlanta defense, third down. They need to stop him here.
Being in the Super Bowl, playing in your stadium.
Ravens are going to throw it. Complete and first down, fumble. They're calling it down. They're calling it down or incomplete. Probably calling him down. Oh,
the second time
that's too bad.
This one is down by contact.
Let's see.
They're saying down by contact, but let's look at the replay here.
And it's going to come down to his knee.
He is.
I think he's down.
Well, you know what? With every year they change what's a completion and what's not a completion. So I don't know. I mean, in my gut, that's probably a completion. But he was switching to another hand when he dropped that.
And he, that time, went down a little sooner than we've seen earlier in this game. That's a gain of 7.
This is a wonderful slide, not slide, kind of.
I'm not sure what that is.
Kind of a turn down, just sideways.
Second and third
for
the Ravens. They're up 16-10.
Holding up injured.
10 minutes, 50 seconds in the fourth.
The mandate, be a little more.
A rainstorm is erupted here in Panama City Beach.
To pick up.
But they're indoors in Atlanta.
11 carries, 58. Here he goes again.
All right, fake handoff. Jackson to run again. He stretches
for that first down.
For the first down. He looks like he's going to be just short of the first, bring up third and short.
It's amazing how you can just keep running the football. Oh, he might have got that. How you can keep running the football consistently and get positive yards when the other team knows you. That's a first down, or at least closer than where they put it.
It's 3rd and a foot. And I'm sure there's communication going on right now with some of his associates upstairs who saw it.
Nah, I wouldn't challenge this right now. You got to trust your team.
They got the first. They got the first with Edwards, who again continues his north-south running ways.
Well, and Atlanta's defensive line is predicated on speed and movement. So really the one area that you have concern of Atlanta is in short yardage. And then watch the big line just move that line back.
Right, Falcons fans.
A little baby hole.
This painting here.
Boy, he was close. Oh, he did try to challenge it.
Well, that was just in case after the game.
Yeah.
If they didn't get it, he's like, I did.
Somebody
it's
says.
Actually genius on his part.
Broadcast sponsored by at Beth's Paintings. Follow her on Twitter to get cool paintings like this.
9:24 to go.
Follow her on Twitter. That's at Beth Paintings, and that's you can see that address on the screen there.
Talking about the Model T. Now here we are. Talking about winning the most J.D. Power IQS and Appeal Awards.
All right, we are in a break. It is still 16-10. Ravens have the ball. Atlanta not having a lot of possession time here in the fourth. And they're just running right over us. All right. Get all that background noise cleared out there for a minute. So, guys, what do you think needs to happen here for the Falcons to come back and win this and mathematically stay in the playoff hunt? You can comment down below and we'll discuss. Also, like and subscribe to get more play-by-play reaction video. Basically, this is kind of like listening to the game on the radio, except on steroids. If you can't watch the game, this is absolutely the next best thing. It's 16-10 Ravens in the fourth. We are in a commercial break. You know, I'm at the Chinese restaurant getting my beef and broccoli yesterday. It's like 30 minutes before closing, 9:30 at night. This was a school night too, and there's like a 9-year-old kid working the counter. I'm thinking this kid should be either at home, in bed, or doing homework or playing with their friends that late on a school night. Now, I don't know what's going on there, but I guess I can't complain because I sure like my beef and broccoli for $5.99. That's a good price on beef and broccoli. All right, we're getting ready to get back into action here from Atlanta as we say goodbye to the Georgia Dome and welcome the Mercedes-Benz Dome. Is that what it's called? Had a lot of great memories in the Georgia Dome. All right, we're going to join CBS coverage here, so you can hear the game. No other live reaction video channel is going to give you that. But we're going to try.
Two with Edwards. By the way, next week, our Super Bowl season continues on CBS. The featured game will be Baltimore at Kansas City. Tony will be at Arrowhead for that one, plus other regional action. All get started with the NFL today at noon Eastern. Next week, week 14.
I'm dying to see that game. Mostly just the defensive philosophy of Baltimore versus that offensive philosophy of Kansas City to see which one's going to win out, Jim.
That's Edwards going to set up third and about 4. Edwards now 20 times, 20 totes for 75 yards.
Everyone's been so scared of the Rams, the Chiefs, so no one blitzes them. And you're going to see Baltimore come right after them. Now here we go though, 3rd and 3. This is the, I mean, there's been a bunch of big plays in this game, but right here, a sack, anything can really hurt your chances for a field goal. You want to make sure you protect. You have a great kicker. No 8-10 yard loss here.
Keeping it all the way. Jackson almost slipped and trying to take the ball out of his hands. He holds on to it. Only a pickup of 1, and you're right. With the weapon you have, and if he makes the field goal, it's a 2-score advantage. It's huge in this game, the way the defense is performing for Baltimore.
Yeah, it was almost obvious they were going to run this football, minimize any big loss, no turnover, let maybe one of your best players, and you could argue, you know, he's a kicker, but he's as good as, like you said, as good as they get. So 2-possession game if he makes this, which feels like Atlanta may need another half to get that.
So the attempt, 47, good again. His 4th of the day. Ravens up 9 in the 4th.
Okay, look, if you're not the lead dog, the scenery never changes. That's why this is the view for every other full-size pickup. And this year, it's deja vu all over again. Because only the Ford F-150 with its high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body gives you best-in-class torque, best-in-class payload, and you got it, baby, best-in-class towing. Still leading the pack. This is the big dog. This is the Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
Applebee's Bigger, Bolder Grill combos are back. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
Being a Verizon
as an engineer is about doing things right. And there's no shortcut to the right way. So when we roll out the nation's first 5G network, it'll be because we were the first to install millions of miles of fiber optics. And we'll be the first to upgrade the towers and put up the small cells that will power the smart cities of the future. When I started at Verizon, I knew I was joining a team that was pushing the industry forward.
Yes, man, another field goal. Baltimore's now up by 9. It's going to be a tough road to come back from this. There's about 7.5 minutes left in this ball game.
And I'll always be proud that we're not just building America's first 5G network, we're doing it right.
Hey, all right, there we go. All right, A-Bomb, what do you think's got to happen here?
Man, it's a tough road to hoe here. I mean, it's 9 points now. This guy's been kicking field goals all day long, and now all of a sudden they have a 9-point lead. That's going to be very tough with 7.5 minutes to go in this one.
Yeah, that kicker there's apparently never missed a field goal indoors in his entire career.
Right, that's what I heard. So that's 20 for 20 for this guy, and he's been in the league for 13 or 14 years.
How are you in the league that long and only have that many kicks indoors? That doesn't add up.
Right, I was wondering the same thing. I guess you're in the AFC North or whatever that is. Maybe they don't have any outdoor stadiums up there. Indoor stadiums.
Good point.
All kinds of crazy feedback and reverb and everything going on.
Are you feeling a little reverbious? This is... Yeah, we did not test this out.
Okay, now that sounds great.
Okay, good. I turned the game all the way down. Is it?
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on your stream, man. It's an honor to join you. This is A-Bomb, at A-Bomb98 on Twitter. Please follow me there, and on Facebook at A-Bomb and YouTube.
Now, A-Bomb, would you consider yourself a clone? And exactly what is a clone? I know you've been on the Jim Rome show before.
Well, actually, no, I haven't. I would like to say that I have been on the Jim Rome show, but a clone is a big fan of Jim Rome, and a clone is somebody who talks like Jim. You got to kind of have the same cadence and delivery as Jim, and that's what a clone is all about. I see CBS is back on here with their coverage. We've got 7:25 left in this one. Atlanta has the ball down by 9.
Oh my God.
And also, if I can just get in a quick word about the University of Georgia, they did deserve to be in the 14 playoff. It's a joke that Notre Dame is in. They did not have any kind of conference championship. They have been just resting this week. They did not have a game yesterday. And we all know that they're going to get blown out. They're going to get boat raced so bad that it's going to be an embarrassment to their fan base.
Yeah, tough breaks for the Georgia Bulldogs and tough breaks for Atlanta Falcons here. We've got a fumble from Matt Ryan as he goes to pass that was recovered for a touchdown by Baltimore, and there's not going to be any review of that. Baltimore with the extra point attempt now up 26-10 with 7:16 in the fourth.
Oh, and I just saw that. Yeah, sorry, man. We were talking and a football game broke out and a touchdown for Baltimore. What a shame.
That is a bitter pill. That's tough.
All right, John. Well, I really appreciate you letting me on your show. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here so you can watch the rest of this game and broadcast it to your great viewers. Thanks for having me on. Peace.
Clone out. All right, that's A-Bomb. Who, contrary to popular belief, has not been on the Jim Rome show. He has been on 92.9 The Game. And if you ever lived in Athens, Georgia, you've probably heard him on the radio there. But tough breaks going on now for, we're getting some buffering issues too. Tough break for the Atlanta Falcons as they gave up a defensive touchdown right there. That's going to put Baltimore up by 16. So Atlanta needs 2 touchdowns and 2 extra point conversions here. I don't know why we're buffering. We've got a pretty good upstream. Let's try to take it back to CBS's coverage here as the Falcons got the ball back.
From Baltimore.
Steps out after 6. And we'll check the penalty marker.
Probably an illegal shift when it comes from the outside or formation, some sort of illegal movement right before the snap.
Illegal motion, number 12, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So this Ravens defense, I mean, I'm just looking at a stat board here, the official stats. You think of what they have done here on this afternoon, and then the Owasu strip sack that leads to the return and the touchdown. Okay, Coleman in the backfield, 1st and 15, Atlanta, 6.5 to play. Here they come. Able just to get rid of it as he had no chance. And let's check the marker near the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 90, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Zadarius Smith, that's now 3 times they've had a marker out for him in the game. Second. Foul on him.
Oh, and that's a good call. That you cannot do that. He let go of the ball. Now watch here, though. The defensive end, his job is when he blitzes, he's covering the back. So now the defensive end, Matt Judon, you got to take the tailback. That should have been a touchdown, but the tailback's eyes just didn't get back far enough to catch the ball come out of Ryan's hand.
First down, the Falcons without Julio Jones on the field. Get the completion to Ridley. Just shy of another first. There's Jones, helmet on, looking to get back in. He did have that hand wrapped in the first half, the thumb area, but he's been on the field in the second half. Flag down is going to be on the Ravens. They were offsides. Julio is coming back in. We'll wait for the flag.
Offside, defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You know, Julio comes into the game, Tony, through 11 games in the season with 84 catches, over 1,300 yards, leading the NFL in receiving yards, had been over 100 his last 6 games. And again, he's been blanked since the first drive of the game when he caught 2 short throws.
Well, they see that safety go up top. He's double teamed on some plays.
Look at Ryan escape. It's going to be good for the first. And on the near side, we've got another marker.
But ultimately, the pressure is what takes you off of them consistently. When they come after you with a lot of stuff, you got to throw to the vacant areas on the field.
Holding, defense, number 54. 5-yard penalty is added to the end of the run. Automatic, first down.
Looking at a stat board.
You're going to see Bowser run out of there, and he's going to grab Sanu right there. I'll tell you what, got to give Martindale credit, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Defensive plan, but really all season. They're doing stuff no one else in the league is doing right now.
There's a pass in the middle of the field. That is caught by Sanu, who puts the ball down in a hurry after a gain of 14.
Ryan feels that pressure and delivers a strike, but everything feels fast. It feels hurried, and they can score right here. We've seen crazy things.
Yep, of course they score. They would go for the 2. Ball up in the air. Caught by Ridley. touchdown, but we'll check the flag.
Oh, this is a crazy play. Now, this is probably coming back.
73, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It's called on Schrader, the right tackle, but it was off the fingertips of Sanu, and Ridley nearly had his 9th touchdown of his rookie season.
It wasn't just off the...
Yeah.
Let's see. You'll
see a little more than that.
The hold right here pulls him down with him. Where's one tip off Mosley? Let's see how many guys touched this ball. Holding there. Mosley.
Now Sanu.
2. Then Weddle. Then off Clark.
Goodness. Weddle, Clark.
That was 4 guys, I think.
It was like volleyball for a moment. Almost looked like Sanu was trying to send it in his direction.
Now here comes Baltimore's pressure.
They love this situation. 1st and 20. The blitz and the incompletion. That was Anthony Levine who knocked down Ryan.
Well, so it's hard enough to get it all communicated on who's blocking who. But here's the best part. This is really subtle but brilliant. Baltimore says we're going to press Julio because he has no help anywhere. If you press him, it throws the timing off just a second. And because that timing's off, now he doesn't get to run scot-free, so the throw and the timing is just off where Ryan can't see the angle and throw it out in front of him.
2nd down and 20. The Ravens, who blitz more than any team in the league. And what's the proof of the work, the end result? They lead all the defensive categories as Ryan throws against his body for the end zone, incomplete. It is interesting to see that as you got a flag in the end zone. That's Carr, your former teammate down in Dallas.
He was playing outstanding this year, but they might have got him with one. Let's see.
Pass interference. Defense, number 34. The foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line with an automatic first down.
It will be 24, Brandon Carr, and that'll set up the Falcons at the 1.
Gives the Falcons a shot. Let's see if he's holding them here. Didn't see it there.
That's the 4th penalty against the Raven defense on this drive. Coleman's the running back from under center. Ryan has it. Ryan throws it. He's got the touchdown. It's Hooper.
Well, this is the best play of the day by Matt Ryan. Outstanding job. Getting back on a bootleg and moving away from the defender coming at him, and then under duress throwing that ball between 2 defenders. I mean, look at Judon goes up, and then that ball is so perfect. Under duress, falling down backwards.
Yep, and now the must.
Hooper with a touchdown. Here you go.
You got to have it if you want to really have a fighting chance to get it down to a 1-possession game. 1-2. Ryan looking for a second option. Backpedaling. Now has to. And it's incomplete. It hit the hands of Hooper. No flag. 10-point margin.
Just nothing open. They're going to look to the right for Houlihan. And that's taken away. And then all of a sudden you go around and around and the ball's got to come out. And they were hoping for that 4-person touch tip again here to get it.
Yeah, right.
Another hit on Matt.
That was their only hope. Boy, Suggs with a hit.
That one was okay, though, because the ball was still coming out. You never know if they pull it back. You saw that earlier in the year. Do you remember Brady? He pulled that ball back, and the defender kind of stopped. And then he ran in for a score.
I've done a lot of the Ravens against Patriot matchups through the years, and Suggs has always had big hits on Brady in their matchups. And he's at an extremely high level. His contract's up at the end of the year. He wants to keep on playing. And last week he had his first defensive touchdown since 2008 when he scored against the Raiders.
I think you keep him around in this regard. As long as they're great locker room people, you love what they bring. He's still playing good football. You know, the pricing isn't too crazy high. I would say it's mostly going to come down to if he's great in the locker room and helps the young guys. Then that's something you definitely would keep him around for.
With the miss 2, a pooch punt, pooch kick hit. I think they might try onside kick there. Down 10. And the return up to about the 25. That didn't really give the Falcons any kind of a chance. You're going to pooch it, or at least do something you can where he's got to scramble to try to scoop up the football. All right, coming up, the State Farm post-game show. JB, Phil, Nate Boomer, and Coach Coward. All the scores and highlights from the 1 o'clock Eastern window, as they'll get you up to speed on everything around the league. Coming up on the State Farm post-game show.
Well, normally in a game like this, on defense, you're like, okay, we know they're going to run the football. We're down 10. We're Atlanta. They're going to run it. Let's get into our run defense. But they've already been in it all game. It's really no different. You know they've been running it, so it's really just the same thing.
They run it with Edwards. First final of the day is in, by the way, and it's a Jacksonville victory, ending their long losing streak. 6-0. They blank the Indianapolis Colts. Timeout called here by Atlanta as Edwards is gimpy getting up. He's now got 81 on the ground. He had some issues coming in and had been questionable with an ankle.
It's been the bell cow these last few weeks. You saw Collins went down on IR this week, and they're asking a lot out of Edwards, and he's performing. And Montgomery picked it up last week. He played a lot. And you saw him today as well. So they got some depth right now, but you never want. You don't want to keep going down the list as the season progresses to the next, to the next, to the next.
And they've got Kenny Dixon back too, and he's played a lot in this game. Look at this formation on 2nd and 3. It's Jackson with the football. There's one massive conclusion in the backfield.
What a great
collision here in the backfield.
So
watch Dixon get hit.
Boom. That's your job as a defensive end. Now that cut right there by Jackson, that was rare. His ability to like make him feel he was going to go out wide, and then all of a sudden a cut up, first down. Hard to deal with this running game. A lot of different ways they run at you.
So the Falcons have run out of timeouts with 4 minutes to go. Now over 700 yards over the last 3 games, which is a franchise record in a 3-game span.
There's a lot of things that go into that. I know we want to, the easy thing to talk about is quarterback and the whole deal, but the defenses haven't exactly been, you know, very rarely do you play 3 defenses this low in the standings in a row in the run game. And then on top of it, though, your defense is playing unbelievably well.
There's another 2 yards picked up.
But you can't take it away from them. You still got to go do it. And the fact they could just do that over the 3-game span against, you know, these defenses, it's going to be a tough decision on Harbaugh going forward, because your team is just playing really good football right now. And Jackson, it's simplified the game. One area is the defense is always fresh in the second half. I mean, the offense is controlling this ball.
That's a good
time
point.
of possession over and over and over again.
When you have an offense that can have time of possession, wins like what we've seen today, and keeping things fresh. We've had some recent coaches even talk about how much a great offense is the best friend of a defense. And no gain this time for Dixon. Tracy, more on the quarterback situation.
Well, Jim, I spoke with John Harbaugh before the game, and he said Joe Flacco has not been cleared to play yet by the doctors. He did participate in practice this week, but did no team reps yet. But Harbaugh said he is hopeful he'll be cleared by this week. Then he will make the decision on who the starter is, Jim.
What do you see happening, thank you, Tracy, long term here? You go out and you draft Jackson in the first round. He's winning games for you. Flacco's won a Super Bowl.
You don't think long term right now. You're just going week to week. Yeah. Things will just play themselves out the way that they happen. I mean, you don't, as a coach, organization right now, you made the decision to draft him. That was the time to think about long term.
Oh, get Jackson almost get there. And I don't believe he did. Mark him about a yard shy. This was happening right in front of the Ravens bench. And they were trying to make a point here that he was tackled inbounds. Keep that clock running, they were motioning to the officials.
He's down in bounds, which will take you to the 2-minute warning.
In fact, we are there. We have arrived. It'll be 4th and 1 when we come back. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
There's no one I'd rather hit the road with.
No one I'd rather have dinner and a movie with.
No one I'd rather lean on.
Being in love is an amazing thing. Being in love with your best friend is everything. The Ever Us two-stone collection. One diamond for your best friend, one for your true love. For the one woman who's both. Ever Us, now 30% off at Kay.
Our parties are much less crowded than this.
Dilly dilly! Dilly dilly!
Our catchphrase is much more dignified than that.
What'd you say? What?
Bud Light, for the many, not the few.
This is Dell Cinema technology. Uninterrupted streaming, brilliant sound clarity, and lifelike color. Experience Dell Cinema on the XPS 13. Shop the biggest cyber week ever at Dell.com.
Once I started looking for car insurance, it was a no-brainer. I switched to Geico and saved hundreds. That's a win. But it's not the only reason I switched. The Geico app makes it easy to manage my policy. I can pay my bill, add a new driver, or even file a claim. Woo! Hey now, that's a win-win. Thank you.
Switch to Geico. It's a win-win. If you want a car from a company that's been building them for 115 years, get a Ford. If you want a car with driver assist technology, get a Ford. If you want Waze and Amazon Alexa compatibility, get a Ford. If you want a car that doesn't have any of that, get anything but a Ford. Otherwise, you're gonna want a Ford.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Kay Jewelers. For all the moments, for love, forever. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Open air day in Atlanta. The 360 vision encircling the Raptors. And it's going to be a challenge here by the Ravens on the spot of the football. Nothing to lose on their side anyway, except the timeout. And they have no concerns in that department, no need for him. So just in case, have a chance for them to look at this and see if he got close enough to be able to just polish off the game.
Yeah, I think his knee was down, though, before he extends. Let's see right here. Does that knee hit the ground before he extends out? Right there, he's down.
Yep.
And then it goes back up and he extends out. Yeah. So really, they got the spot correct, in my opinion. Right there.
I mean,
actually, they gave him more yards.
They actually made...
Baltimore is about to lose half a yard to a yard.
Exactly. They were right. They win the challenge then. They had an incorrect spot.
They get to keep...
They get to keep the timeout because they're going to back them up another half a yard. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Have you ever seen a challenge just go completely against you where you're like, not with the ball or anything, but you're like, and you lost 14 yards.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was short of the line to gain. It's 4th down. Baltimore is charged with a timeout due to the unsuccessful challenge.
So you have to...
Lamar Jackson says, you guys just stay out there. You would think.
Wow.
Well, you would think this would be a punt, but 4th and 1.
This right here is because they've gained over 700 yards of rushing in 3 weeks. That's how much you believe in these guys.
Including 204 yards today on the ground. Just go ahead, John says. Just get the yard and take a couple of snaps and let's go home.
Well, it's just going to be, this is how it's really hard to defend when you get in shotgun and then all of a sudden you get under center and hand this ball right up the middle.
All the Falcons are close. They have pushed Jackson from behind. And it's going to be a 1st down.
Well, that's the ball game.
That's going to do it. Harbaugh always expresses the great belief he has in his team and his players. And he showed it right there by just going ahead and say, let's go ahead and end it, guys. I'm not going to punt and drag this thing out.
No, that's... We were sitting up here saying, do they punt, do they not? It's like, oh, you can punt, you got the #1 defense, you know, but you also got the best offensive running team, and Harbaugh proud of what RG3 did today, stepped right in and took him down the field for a field goal.
Ravens on their way to winning their 3rd straight. They'll be in Kansas City next week. We'll be there for the game. And then at home against Tampa, at the Chargers, and week 17 home against Cleveland. It's a happy bunch. And it's another statement game for this defense.
I'm telling you what, the way they run their system, for quarterbacks, coaches out there, this is going to be an unbelievable test next week for this defense and this offense of Kansas City. This high-powered, fast-paced quarterback throwing it down the field, then a quick one. Well, you want to do it, your quarterback's going to get hit, is what Baltimore says. Baltimore's defense is rare with their scheme right now in the NFL. Not many teams do this.
Jackson gives a little jump shot to close it. There'll be a hoop game here, 3 of them, when the Final Four comes to the stadium in about 15 months' time, the 2020 Final Four. So now the Ravens at 7-5, and that certainly helped them that Indianapolis lost to Jacksonville. This gives a little more separation against them. Jackson throws for 125, runs for 75 and a touchdown, and the Ravens win at 26-16. Coming up next, State Farm postgame show. Right now, let's go to James Brown in New York.
All right, Jim, so Baltimore gets it done, giving up the fewest points in the league. Again, today, only 16. They're giving up only 18 on the season. Let's take it to Buffalo at Miami. 1:05 left in regulation. Buffalo trailing by 4. Andrew and James.
Bills have to get to the 19-yard line for a first down. Allen dancing out of the pocket, chased by Quinn, nowhere to go. Allen goes back the other way, picks up a block. Allen now fires towards the end zone, and it is incomplete. Charles Clay was open, and they just missed connecting for an incredible, improbable touchdown, and it just falls short. The Dolphins breathe a sigh of relief as somehow Allen was able to throw that one and nearly completed it.
And he kept the ball, the play alive, moving all the way to his left, throwing all the way across the field. And watch Charles Clay, his feet just go out from under him as he's trying to get back to the ball. Oh, you just feel brokenhearted for the Bills, and he laid it on the other end for the Miami Dolphins.
Not Allen's best ball, but it looked like Clay should have caught that one. Obviously, it would have been a tough catch to make.
Yeah, I mean,
but that was a catchable football.
He's in the end zone. He can run all the way back to the 5-yard line and make that catch.
And all the Dolphins have to do is take a knee. So Josh Allen nearly pulls off a miracle here in Miami. Instead, the Dolphins will get a much needed win in the AFC playoff picture, which you'll hear more about coming up on the State Farm postgame show with our guys back in New York. Look at the updated AFC playoff picture. The Colts losing today in Jacksonville. So Miami now just on the outside at 6-6, while the Bills fall to 4-8. The 5th straight game between these two rivals that has been decided by one score. A 4-point win today for the Miami Dolphins. They keep their playoff hopes alive, and they host New England here next week. Final score from Miami Gardens, the Dolphins 21, the Bills 17. Coming up next, it's the State Farm postgame show. So for James Lofton, our entire crew, this is Andrew Catalan.